Good morning. It's July 22nd, 2025, and it's a little bit after 9 o'clock, and you're at the Stanislaus County Board of Supervisors meeting. We're going to start off by saying the Pledge of Allegiance, and then the invocation by Pastor Rod Cochran with Christian Love Baptist Church.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pastor, are you in attendance? Sarah, you want to say a prayer?
I gotta sit down if I'm going to say a prayer. Okay, dear God, thank you. Thank you for having us all here today. Please fill our hearts with your love to do your work throughout this county, throughout this state, and throughout this country. We're blessed in this nation with all that we have, but we know there's so much more we can do. And we pray, dear God, that you can help us lead in the direction to do your work. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Supervisor Withrow. All right, first up we have several presentations today, but first up is a commendation for Baljeet Atwal, Director of Child Support Services, upon her retirement from Stanislaus County. CEO Hayes.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for being here this morning. It is absolutely my pleasure to do this recognition for Baljeet Atwal on her retirement from Stanislaus County. And I gotta grab my notes. We always bring you up here to put you on the spotlight, okay? Yeah, I know. I know. She loves the spotlight. Can you tell how much she just absolutely loves the spotlight? Okay. On behalf of the Stanislaus County Board of Supervisors, county leadership, and the residents of our community, it is a great honor to recognize and celebrate Baljeet Atwal on the occasion of her well-earned retirement. After nearly 29 years of service, Baljeet leaves behind a remarkable legacy, one defined by unwavering dedication, quiet confidence, and extraordinary commitment to public service. She began her journey with Stanislaus County in December 1996 as an account clerk too, in what was back then known as the District Attorney's Family Support Division. With a degree in social sciences and studies in economics and prior experience in the banking industry, she was a strong match for the financial responsibilities of that role. But what quickly became apparent was that she brought much more than the minimum qualifications. She brought integrity, a tireless work ethic, and an eagerness to learn and grow. Within just 2 years, she promoted to accounting technician and then to accounting supervisor, setting the tone for a career filled with achievement and advancement. As I reviewed her personnel file in preparation for this recognition, I found page after page of praise from her supervisors, reflecting the consistency and excellence she demonstrated from the very beginning. I wanted to read just a couple of those highlights from your early days with the county. Here you go. It's all good. Baljeet has shown herself to be a dedicated employee, always putting the job first and making sure it is done well. Her work is consistently first rate, and she rarely settles for less than perfection. Baljeet is the essence of leadership. She is diplomatic and attentive to the needs of the unit as well as the office. Her work product is exemplary. She sets the tone of professionalism that each individual should strive to attain. These words are high praise just 2 years into a public service career. From the start, Baljeet distinguished herself as someone who not only met expectations, but raised the bar for everyone around her. In December 2000, she stepped into her first formal management position. As a leader, she brought with her a powerful blend of technical skill, organizational insight, and emotional intelligence. She quickly became known for her ability to calmly and effectively guide teams through complex challenges, whether it was leading system conversions, redesigning business processes, or responding to organizational changes. She did so with a calm resolve and collaborative spirit that inspired confidence in her teams. She played a key role during the transition of child support services from the district attorney's office to an independent department, one of those many unique challenges she helped navigate through her leadership teams. In June of 2013, Baljeet was promoted to assistant director, where she continued to serve as a mentor, problem solver, and advocate for excellence. Her work earned the respect not only of her team, but of the peers in other departments and partner agencies across the region and throughout the state of California. Her reputation was one of effectiveness, grace under pressure, and unshakable professionalism. Then in June of 2016, following the appointment of Tamara Thomas to lead our county's HR team, Baljeet was tapped to serve as interim director, a decision made with great confidence. Her leadership during that time confirmed what we already knew. She was the right person for the job. Her interim title became permanent in February 2017, and we've been proud to have her serve as Director of Child Support Services ever since. Under her leadership, the Department of Child Support Services continued to thrive, delivering complex services within a people-first approach that reflects Baljeet's own values. What makes Baljeet's story so meaningful is not just the progression from an entry-level position to department head, it's how she led throughout that journey. Her technical knowledge has always been a tremendous asset, but it has been her leadership style that truly sets her apart. She leads with humility, compassion, and a deep understanding of people. She communicates with clarity and kindness. She listens. She builds trust. And she models the kind of integrity that encourages others to do the same. She doesn't look for the spotlight, and she champions the others around her, which you can see here today because she doesn't want to be standing here with me. These so-called soft skills are often the hardest to teach and the most valuable to any organization. She mastered them through the years of experience, reflection, and an unwavering commitment to doing the right thing. Her legacy is not only the systems and processes she improved, but the people she developed, the team she strengthened, and the example she set for future leaders. We're almost done. So, Baljeet, your career is a shining example of what public service can and should be. You have helped shape the culture of Stanislaus County in ways that will endure far beyond your final day in your office. You've inspired those around you, many of them in this room, and led with a quiet strength that leaves a lasting impression and something we can all learn from. On behalf of the Board of Supervisors, all of your colleagues, and the thousands of employees and community members whose lives you've touched, we thank you. We congratulate you on your retirement and celebrate the incredible legacy of service you leave behind. You've truly made a difference. Congratulations, Baljeet, and congratulations, and enjoy a wonderful retirement. I know you have some family members in the audience. You also have a wonderful team of supporters here that is a true testament to how much they've appreciated your leadership as well. So I'm going to turn this microphone over to you, and you talk as long as you want. Nobody's going to stop you.
Except for myself. Thank you for your very kind words, Jody. As many of you know, thank you first of all for being here. I'm going to try not to be emotional. I try not to be emotional in public settings, but this is one of those times. This is a very bittersweet moment for me. As I leave one family, my work family, to be with another one, my home family. And why is it so easy to talk about business, like our presentations, but not so easy to talk about this personal stuff? I can't say this enough, I'm deeply grateful to my Stanislaus County here and my Stanislaus County and DCSS family here. I was given a great amount of opportunity, as you heard from Jody, great amount of opportunity, support, friendship, camaraderie, and a home. I was relatively new to this area. Wasn't planning to stay here for long, but I decided to take a job offer because I was going to be here for about 6 months. This family, this Stanislaus County family, helped me learn, grow, and serve in my best capacity. Board, CEO, staff, peers, team, Friends, I thank you all for your support and leadership. And now I look forward to spending quality time with my home family. This family made many sacrifices so that I could give my all to serving our community. Thank you to my husband, Amar, who's right here, my daughter, Ananda, and they're just as shy as I am, and my son, Sergeant. Our mom's back at home, with a special shout out to a dad who was my #1 champion, pushed me his entire life. And I'm indebted to all the family and friends who made this incredible county journey happen. The work we do in government is not easy. It's no easy task. It impacts lives. We remind ourselves that each and every day. It is complex, stressful, and never ending. As I leave, I ask that you remain resilient. Well, first of all, at the end of that, I was supposed to say, so I commend you all also. I truly commend you. As I leave, I ask that you remain resilient, passionate, and dedicated, as there are many in our community who need you and who rely on you. Keep up the good work, keep encouraging each other, and take building community to new heights. Thank you so very much.
So, hold on, just stick with me for just another minute. So these are very, very important gestures as well. So you have a commendation here from the Board of Supervisors. This is the formal document that to get your first retirement check, you go over to Stan Sarah and you hand them this, and then they put a little extra in it when they read those words. And then we have the ceremonial retirement clock. Same joke every time, but now that it doesn't matter what time it is, we're going to give you a clock. So this is. Oh, okay, that's a good point. Okay, so those are your parting gifts, and board members are welcome to come on up, and if you can either just say hi or congratulate. I think we're going to take a picture, and welcome to say any words anybody would like to have as well, but we're going to go ahead and get a photo with all board members.
If I could say a few words really quickly. So first of all, every single employee I've ever met or encouraged to apply at the county, I tell them of all the opportunities, and here's a shining star. You start and you can achieve anything. You can be the CEO, started again in a different job. You can be a department head, but it takes drive, it takes smarts, right? You have to have certain characteristics, but you can find those characteristics because the county will help you achieve those if you're willing to. That's number one. Number two, this department is not it's not general fund money or discretionary. Yeah, it's money that comes through the state. So we don't have as many interactions as, say, with the planning department as you would with child support services. But that doesn't mean that we all don't go visit because of the important work. When you look at a department, the funding is a declining funding source. And as we always say, we expect more with less, and you can't do that anymore. You know, you can't get blood out of a turnip. And this department, though, is making a difference in families' lives, and you've been such an integral part of that. Going to the state, getting funding, extra funding for a couple of years. I'm so proud to have known you. You're only the second department head that has been in that department, which we were talking about stability. It's been one of the most stable departments we've had, and that's because of you and your leadership. I wish you the best in retirement. You get to go spend some time with your husband, who I think has been retired a couple of years already. So as we talk, you're going to catch up with him. So congratulations.
Sorry, we're going to draw this out a little bit here. I just want to, we talk about it back in the day with Jim DiMartini. This was one of his favorite departments, I think, because I think. So Jim would always love this because the return on the investment. We would invest $1 and get back. I don't know. It was $4. Can't remember the dollar. Unbelievable the amount, the return that you guys would get in going after these families. But what I really loved and respected about you was that it wasn't just about getting dollars to family. I mean, that was important to help these individuals, these deadbeat dads or deadbeat moms be responsible fiscally. But what happened a ton of times was that you would get families back together. It was the beginning of not necessarily maybe getting a mom and dad back together, but getting dads and moms back involved in the lives of their kids, not just financially, but just personally getting involved. Thanks. Just personally getting back involved with their kids. And that's the most important thing of this whole thing, to have a dad, to have a mom as these kids grow up. So I always respected that in you and what you did. So we're going to miss you. We all love you. And we hope you have everything goes great in retirement. I know your family is looking forward to that, but we are definitely going to miss you. Thank you for everything.
All right, the next presentation will be Child Support Awareness Month in Stanislaus County. Baljeet.
Thank you. And as somebody just said, I've still got work to do. So we forge on. Thank you again for all your kind words. Thank you, Chairman, board members, CEO, County Council. I think everybody knows who I am today in this room. We truly appreciate this opportunity to present today. As you all know, this would have been my 10th presentation. So what we're going to change it up a little today. Today, Assistant Director Lisa Clifton will be presenting with her is Program Manager Michelle Dunn. She will drive. And with this, I'm going to leave it in their good hands. Thank you. And I'll be available, and Lisa will be available to answer questions at the end.
Hello, good morning. Good to see you. August is Child Support Awareness Month, a time to recognize the vital role child support services play in strengthening families and improving the lives of children across our community. We at the Department of Child Support are committed to ensuring that every child receives the financial and emotional support they need to thrive. DCSS promotes child and family well-being by locating parents, establishing parentage, and enforcing support orders with a commitment to excellent customer service. We provide these services at little or no cost to families, increasing access to justice and support. Established in 1975 under local district attorneys, the child support program transitioned to state oversight in 1999 following legislative reforms. Our program is federally and state funded, approximately 2/3 from the federal government and 1/3 from the state of California. The department operates with an annual budget of $17 million dedicated to serving families in our community. DCSS strengthens families by supporting their economic stability, social well-being, and overall health. We currently have a caseload size of over 21,000, managed by 120 employees. Last year alone, we collected $57.5 million and served close to 22,000 children, all done with a cost effectiveness of $3.45. At this time, I'd like to recognize several members of our team sitting behind me. Without their dedication and that of many others, these achievements would not be possible. Thank you. Stanislaus DCSS offers several positive outcomes for families, particularly in promoting the well-being of children and supporting custodial parents. Some key benefits include improved financial stability for children. We ensure children receive financial support from both parents, helping cover essentials like housing, food, clothing, healthcare, and education. We help reduce childhood poverty by supplementing income in single-parent households. Child support promotes parental responsibility by encouraging parents to remain financially involved in their children's lives, reinforcing the importance of shared responsibility even after separation or divorce. Establishment of legal child support obligations protects children's rights and helps reduce disputes or confusion between parents. By securing regular support payments, families may become less dependent on programs like CalWORKs or other welfare benefits, which can lead to greater long-term self-sufficiency. Research shows that children who receive consistent support tend to have better academic performance, emotional well-being, and social development. Nationwide, the child support program serves over 17 million children. As stated earlier, over 21,000 locally. Without child support, child poverty would increase by 4.4%. Now let's take a closer look at how California is modernizing the child support program, an effort aimed at improving equity, efficiency, long-term outcomes for families across our state. Assembly Bill 207 aims to support economic equity for low-income families. Since May of 2024, all past due arrears collections, including arrears that were previously retained to reimburse CalWORKs, are now fully passed through to families who no longer receive CalWORKs benefits. This change promotes family financial stability by ensuring that formal CalWORKs households receive all child support funds owed to them. This shift in approach invests in the well-being of low-income families. This significantly increases direct family support. To date, we have passed through $3.7 million to families in our community. Senate Bill 343 brings California into compliance with the Federal Flexibility, Efficiency, and Modernization (FEM) rule issued in 2016, which aims to modernize child support enforcement across the nation. This bill shifts from using default income assumptions to basing support orders on parents' actual income or true earning capacity. This change promotes fairness and helps reduce uncollectible debt. SB 343 strengthens low-income considerations and safeguards to ensure orders are affordable and enforceable, especially for obligors who may struggle to meet unrealistic payment expectations. By creating more accurate and sustainable support orders, SB 343 is expected to improve payment compliance, reduce arrears, and ultimately better serve children and families in our community by receiving consistent child support payments. Most provisions of SB 343 will go into effect statewide effective January 2026. We are working hard to support all families in our community. I'd like to share with you an example that demonstrates real impact. In late August of 2024, a mother of 3, children aged 6 to 17 years old, turned to DCSS for help. After years of voluntary support from the father, payment stopped following a personal dispute. There was no support order and no legal recourse, only growing financial pressure. We opened the case in September of 2024 and acted quickly. Within 3 months, by December, we established parentage and a court-ordered child support agreement for all 3 children. Challenges continued when the father began working for cash. No support was received despite the court order. We implemented immediate measures through our partnership with Workforce Development. In January of 2025, we referred the father to a workforce case manager who assisted them with employment services. They worked with the father to compile their employment history, developed a marketable resume, and helped identify strategic locations and industries to submit applications. They also collaborated on job search activities by reviewing job leads and preparing for interviews. By April, the father interviewed for a job and was hired by a local company in May. As a result, consistent child support payments are now coming in, marking a major turning point in this family's financial stability. This case shows the power of early action, interagency coordination, and persistent advocacy. What began as a story of lost communication and financial stress became one of collaboration, accountability, and renewed support. With persistence from the mother and engagement with the father, along with partnership between DCSS and Workforce, this family support case is now on track, and children are receiving the support they need to thrive. Together, we helped turn a stalled situation into a success story for the family and, most importantly, for the children. We appreciate our partnership with Workforce Development, which allows us to join forces effectively in supporting members of our community. If we can help any family in our community or anyone you know, please contact us here. Here's our QR code for more information. Also visit our website at www.stancodcss.org. As in years past, we are holding our annual DCSS Kids Connect event at Modesto Junior College this Saturday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Please join us as we distribute backpacks and school supplies to families. There will also be several community resources available for families to connect with. Last year, we had more than 50 partners sharing information about services they provide. I want to thank you for your time this morning, and Baljeet and I are happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Michelle. Happy to answer any questions.
We just had the opportunity to say all of it when we were talking about you, unfortunately. Yeah, the return on investment.
Testing, all right. I'm going to go ahead and read a few of the whereases in the proclamation, and then we'll have everybody come up to accept the proclamation. Whereas Child Support Awareness Month celebrates the important emotional and financial parental support that creates a brighter future for our children, helping them to become healthy, productive, and well-adjusted adults. Whereas Stanislaus County Child Support Program provides important services to parents and guardians which encourage positive influence in the lives of children, assisting to improve the economic lives of those who live and work in California. Whereas Stanislaus County Child Support Program actively seeks to provide family-centered services through partnerships with other state and county agencies, increasing the reliability of child support payments to families. And whereas Stanislaus County collected over $57.5 million in child support for families in its caseload year and worked toward supporting the lives of 21,891 minor children through the efforts of 120 committed Stanislaus County child support professionals. And whereas Stanislaus County Child Support Services collected $3.45 for every dollar spent on the program. Whereas Stanislaus County Department of Child Support Services is committed to bringing the community together in a positive way for families. The department helps customers overcome barriers that prevent them from paying consistent support to their children by providing necessary referrals and county resources. These resources can help customers become more sufficient, strengthen relationships between parent and child, and assist with financial stability for the children. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Stanislaus County Board of Supervisors does hereby proclaim August 2025 as Child Support Awareness Month in Stanislaus County and commends this observance to all of its residents. Congratulations. Cameron, tell us where to be. All right, next up, July 2025 is Parks and Recreation Month in Stanislaus County. Tara Chumley.
Good morning. Well, good morning, Chairman Condit, Supervisors, CEO Hayes, and Council Bowes. I'm Tara Chumley, the Director of Parks and Recreation. Joining me at the staff table today is Vinal Chum, our Administrative Manager, and Kaylee Rickey, our Communications and Event Specialist. Also with us today are several members of our dedicated Parks and Recreation team. Today we're here to recognize Parks and Recreation Month in Stanislaus County and to celebrate our staff and accomplishments over the last year. This year's National Recreation and Park Association theme is Build Together, Play Together. Celebrates park and recreation professionals for the lasting impact they make on communities. Together, we're building and maintaining sustainable parks and green spaces for current and future generations. Together, we're building thriving communities focused on health and well-being. Together, we're building high-quality programs and spaces accessible and inclusive for all. And together, we help people play and connect through outdoor activities. Our park facilities are spread across the Stanislaus County footprint, ranging from the western foothills near Diablo Grande to the eastern edge near LaGrange. Our staff travels several miles to each park location daily and maintain a diverse network of park facilities. The County Center's Community Parks team is responsible for community and neighborhood parks, public pools, and we're about to have 2, fishing accesses, flood control and streetscapes within county service areas, county libraries, and various county facilities. Frank Rains off-highway vehicle park and area, and that includes camping and off-roading along with Laird Regional Park. In addition to general maintenance, this dedicated, passionate team continually make improvements to create park spaces for recreation, enrichment, and community connection. The Modesto Reservoir and LaGrange area team consistently excel at customer service, creating a welcoming and enjoyable environment for recreation. Modesto Reservoir offers camping, boating, swimming, and picnicking. And when describing what our reservoir teams do, I always compare it to the operations of running a small city, where staff are responsible for maintaining facilities such as campgrounds, electrical, garbage services, public water systems, and wastewater treatment facility. In addition to Modesto Reservoir, this team is also responsible for the LaGrange area, including pedestrian bridges, cemeteries, fishing accesses, historical areas, and a youth camp, along with an OHV park in LaGrange that also offers camping and off-roading recreation. Woodward Reservoir also offers camping, boating, swimming, and picnicking. And the park manager assigned to Woodward retired a few years ago, leaving one park manager to oversee both reservoirs and the LaGrange area. That's why you see it noted as a percentage shared on the screen. Operations at Woodward Reservoir are similar to Modesto, where staff are responsible for maintaining facilities such as campgrounds, electrical, garbage services, public water systems, and wastewater treatment facility. Only at Woodward, it's at an increased level. An annual visitation at Woodward is often double than what we experience at Modesto Reservoir. With outstanding customer service, the team at Woodward Reservoir ensures a positive, fun-filled experience for all who come to enjoy the outdoors. And finally, administration, the backbone of any department. Our front office staff serve as a direct link to our customers, especially during the busy summer season. They skillfully manage reservations, address complaints, respond to a wide range of inquiries, and support the entire department, all while keeping up with their daily responsibilities. And now I'm going to hand it off to Avinal to discuss some of our staff's accomplishments over the last year.
Okay. Good morning. My name is Vinal Chan, and I'll just be talking about some of the park improvements and projects. So, in order to enhance the usability and appeal of our outdoor spaces, staff have launched picnic packages across several parks. Each package contains a concrete pad, picnic table, barbecue grill, and swing-style trash can. These features are designed to support group gatherings and promote community connection among families and visitors. Additionally, we have begun upgrading park lighting by installing new solar fixtures and replacing outdated lights. These improvements aim to increase safety, visibility, and energy efficiency. Solar lights have been successfully installed at Mono Park, with installation at other general funded parks to follow, including Park Lawn, Empire, and United Community Park. Next on the screen, you'll see Empire and Mono Park. So over the past year, our team has worked diligently to update Mono Park by installing picnic packages, solar lighting, and fully refurbishing the basketball court. At Empire Park, we completed substantial repairs to the playground, installed concrete benches, created group picnic and barbecue areas, added drinking fountains, and made key improvements to the pathways. These upgrades have significantly improved both safety and recreational value, making the parks more enjoyable and accessible for the local community. Next, we have technology. To improve communication capabilities, Starlink Wi-Fi has been installed at our regional parks, including Frank Rains OHV Park and LaGrange OHV Park. These locations previously didn't have any cellular service. This addition enables emergency Wi-Fi calling, which significantly enhances visitor safety in these remote locations. In addition, we're preparing to launch a new Parks and Recreation mobile app. This is designed to increase accessibility, convenience, and community engagement. Through the app, users will be able to make reservations, browse upcoming events, and receive real-time updates on park news and activities, all on their mobile devices. We're excited to introduce these technology upgrades, which will offer a more connected and user-friendly experience for both residents and visitors. We also would like to highlight our Modesto Reservoir Potable Water Project. So the Modesto Reservoir Potable Water Well project was recently completed under the project management of our manager, Diego Casillas, who contracted a professional geologist as well to help ensure the project's success. The existing water well at the west side boat ramp was originally drilled in the 1960s and had been steadily depleting. The water tables indicated a drop of more than 20 feet over the past 5 years, and increased visitor numbers and expanded campsites further strained the system's capacity. A new well was constructed to ensure that potable water operations continued throughout the park. Finally, the enhancing of water safety. With the board's support, we have significantly improved our water safety program for 2025. Some of the key improvements include the life jacket loaner program with increased extra help staffing, the addition of more life jackets, improved signage and educational materials, and the installation of a new loaner station at reservoir sites. In collaboration with Safe Kids, the Sheriff's Office, and other local partners, we've also launched a public awareness campaign focused on the drowning prevention and responsible recreation. These efforts represent a strong ongoing commitment to enhancing safety and ensuring that all visitors can enjoy our waterways with a greater peace of mind. To support our water safety campaign, we'd like to share a short video developed with our local partners.
This is our community. We're here to protect it together. Water safety starts with simple choices that can prevent tragedies and keep our families safe.
Our parks and waterways are meant to be enjoyed, but safety must come first. Knowing the risks and being prepared can save lives.
If you're heading to the water, plan ahead. Make sure everyone has a properly fitted life jacket and never mix alcohol with swimming or boating. A good day on the water starts with the right precautions.
These tragedies affect families, friends, and our entire community. Many victims were strong swimmers, but underestimated the power of the water. Emergencies happen when you least expect them. Have a water safety plan. Know your surroundings and always swim in a designated area.
These waters may look calm, but they hide strong currents, steep drop-offs, and sudden temperature changes that can shock even the strongest swimmer. Conditions change fast. Respect the water.
Drowning is silent and can happen in seconds. Always keep children within arm's reach and make sure they're wearing a properly fitted Coast Guard approved life jacket. A moment of caution can mean a lifetime of memories.
If you see someone in trouble, don't go in after them. Call for help immediately. Seconds matter in water emergencies. Know how to respond before it's too late.
Our lakes and reservoirs are beautiful but unpredictable. Stay alert, follow posted safety signs, and never assume it's safe just because others are swimming. Safety starts with awareness.
We've seen firsthand the impacts of drowning. These tragedies are preventable. Wearing a life jacket, staying sober, and watching out for one another can make all the difference. Never assume you're safe just because you know how to swim.
Drowning is preventable. One decision can mean the difference between life and loss.
One community, one mission. Water safety starts with you.
Okay. Now I'll turn it over to Kaylee. She's our Parks Communication and Events Specialist.
Good morning, everyone. Supporting our parks requires strong community partnerships, and in my role, I've had the pleasure of collaborating closely with key partners like the Stanislaus County Police Activities League, which supports youth programs such as the Oregon Park Garden, our annual egg hunt event, and as well as the rec van. We also work closely with Park RX, a health services agency initiative that promotes outdoor activity as a way to improve public health through healthcare partnerships. Community advocates such as representatives from Love Empire, Love Modesto, and Love Patterson, as well as the Grace and Youth Commission, which are here with us today, play a vital role in shaping our parks and guiding improvements that reflect the needs of their communities. To celebrate Parks and Recreation Month, we reduced swim fees at Empire Pool to improve accessibility for families this summer. We are also holding weekly promotions for children participating in our rec van programs at Salida and other parks, which have been really well received. This week, we're pleased to bring back Drum Love, a community drum circle that fosters creativity and connection with strong participation expected based on past year's events. These efforts support our commitment to increasing community engagement and promoting equitable access to recreational opportunities countywide. And now I will hand it back to Tara to finish the presentation.
Our Parks and Recreation team is composed of dedicated professionals in a wide range of roles, from park maintenance crews to administrative staff. Each team member plays an essential role in ensuring our facilities remain safe, welcoming, and provide vibrant spaces for the entire community to enjoy. We'd like to take a moment to recognize several outstanding team members who celebrated 5 years of service with our department this year. Ferdinand, a park aide with Community Parks, is appreciated for his positive attitude, strong work ethic, and his dedication to going above and beyond to earn the trust of both colleagues and supervisors. Anthony, a park maintenance worker 1 with Community Parks, consistently demonstrates an innovative ability to adapt to different work styles and the specific needs of each location where he is assigned, making him a highly versatile and valuable team member. Alan, a park maintenance worker 2 at Modesto Reservoir, is known for his willingness to step up in wherever needed and for his exceptional customer service, reminding us that every person matters. And Sam Rush, a park maintenance worker 3 at Woodward Reservoir, brings deep knowledge in sewer and water systems, ensuring operations run smoothly and efficiently, and always seems to have a smile on his face. Congratulations to all. Your hard work and commitment help make everything we do possible. And last but never least, Diego Casillas, our park manager, who celebrated 10 years of service with our department this year. Diego has stepped up to oversee both Modesto and Woodward reservoirs, along with the LaGrange area and OHV Park over the last couple of years. The distance between these areas are vast, so I can imagine the miles he's putting on that vehicle. Throughout his time with us, Diego has proven to be a dedicated leader and collaborator known for fostering strong relationships both within the county and with our partners. He consistently maintains positive, productive connections with colleagues and takes a proactive role in supporting his team. Diego's commitment, professionalism, and steady leadership have made a lasting impact, and we're grateful to have him on our team. We'd like to thank the board for their continued support of Parks and Recreation and taking the time this morning to recognize our team. And thank you to Jody, Vito, and Buck for coming out to join our Parks and Rec Month celebrations with staff earlier this month. Thank you very much. Yes.
I did get to spend some time the other day out at Woodward Reservoir and meet with the staff and really celebrate the Parks and Recreation Month with them, or at least with a little ice cream, and that was nice. But I just want to thank staff and all the hard work they do taking care of our parks. They're so important to our community, and yeah, just like to thank everybody for that. But I'm just going to read a couple of the whereases. Parks and recreation are an integral part of our communities throughout this country, including Stanislaus County. And whereas parks and recreation programs are essential to community health and well-being and help cultivate lifelong friendships, memories, and family bonds that people hold dear decades later. And that's a true fact. And the people you meet out in the parks as a kid, you know, they're still friends today, right? It's so good. Parks and recreation promote health and wellness, improving the physical and mental health of people who live near parks. Parks and recreation promote time spent in nature, which positively impacts mental health by increasing cognitive performance and well-being and alleviating illness such as depression, attention deficit disorder, and Alzheimer's. Parks and recreation encourage physical activities by providing a space for popular sports, hiking trails, swimming pools, and many other activities designed to promote active lifestyles. Parks and recreation increase the community's economic prosperity through increased property values, expansion of the local tax base, increased tourism, and the attraction and retention of businesses and crime reduction. Parks and recreation are fundamental to the environmental well-being of our community. Now there be it resolved that the Stanislaus County Board of Supervisors does hereby proclaim July 2025 as Park and Recreation Month in Stanislaus County.
From the other side.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Great video. Can you share that out? Share the video so we put it on our social media.
Yeah, we have it on YouTube. Make sure.
Okay, moving on, we are going to public comment. And first up is Chief Mark Frere, Chief Probation Officer. Do you step out? Yeah. Huh? Don't call him back. There he is. Welcome, Chief.
Well, good morning. Chairman Condit, members of the board, CEO Hayes, and County Council Bowes. Mark Ferreira, the county's Chief Probation Officer, and it is my pleasure to celebrate and recognize probation in Stanislaus County. This profession has evolved since the very first probation officer, John Augustus, began his journey in 1841. John was a bootmaker and would post bail for those charged with crimes, usually public drunkenness, and would use the time between release and the subsequent court date as an opportunity to rehabilitate the offender. He was extremely successful with those he helped, and he coined the phrase probation, which is from the Latin verb to prove, to test. Fast forward to our department, which was created in 1909 with just 2 staff at the time, 1 chief probation officer and 1 stenographer. In 2025, we are allocated for 272 positions, of which 195 are sworn. We operate the county's juvenile hall and juvenile commitment facility, which houses youthful offenders from the age of 12 all the way up to the age of 25 years old. Our probation corrections officers provide a structured environment for youth who come into our custody and serve as perhaps one of the very few positive adult role models in their lives. Our incarcerated youth are provided with medical care, vocational services, treatment, and the educational opportunities they need to successfully re-enter society. Our deputy probation officers supervise approximately 4,000 individuals on some form of community supervision in Stanislaus County. The individuals we supervise are released from state prisons, county jail, and juvenile hall. Some are gang members, struggle with substance abuse or mental health issues, and/or are potentially aggressive, violent, and dangerous. Highly trained deputy probation officers work to hold these individuals accountable while at the same time providing them with opportunities to change their lives. They are the connectors for individuals to receive the treatment and rehabilitation they need. Yet at the same time, individuals are held accountable by being drug tested, tracked through GPS technology, returned to custody, and by our officers conducting invasive searches of residences and property. Deputy probation officers also conduct risk assessments, teach, and serve as a resource for judges in Superior Court by providing recommendations and information on a daily basis. Our custodial cooks, IT professionals, human resources staff, legal clerks, probation technicians, background investigators, clerical community aides, staff services coordinators, fiscal staff, instructors, and our crime analysts provide our department with the vital support it needs to carry out our mission. What I just mentioned is a small sampling of what my staff do. But I think, and most importantly, we should highlight how they carry out the work. My staff are true professionals who are deeply caring and dedicated to what they do. They all want to make a positive difference in Stanislaus County becoming a better, safer place. This is a very difficult job and very few thank yous are received, but they do this work for the greater good of our community. And for that, my staff has my respect and appreciation. At this time, I would ask that my staff who are here stand and be acknowledged for the contributions they make to the county on a daily basis. So with that, I would humbly ask this board to approve the board agenda item, which would proclaim July 20th, 2025 through July 26th, 2025 as Probation Services Week in Stanislaus County. And with that, I will take any questions or feedback from this board.
We're on here. Okay. Mark, I just want to thank you for all you do and everybody in your department for all you do. what a critical role it is in our community towards rehabilitating individuals. You know, we all make mistakes, we all need grace, and you guys step in at that point to try to turn somebody's life around. And when you're successful, it changes our community. And I know your work has been increased tenfold, probably as a result of AB 109, whatever, 15 years ago. And just very much appreciate all the hard work and all the efforts of all of you and what you do to try to make a difference in this community. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Supervisor.
Yeah, I'm going to read a little bit of the resolution here, but the probation department here in Stanislaus County is such an important part of public safety, and we really appreciate the work that you guys do. Whereas the Stanislaus County Probation Department has made a significant contribution to the citizens of Stanislaus County. Probation Department professionals play a unique and essential role in our justice system and community and are focused on helping justice-involved individuals transition out of the criminal justice system permanently through transformative and evidence-based rehabilitation. Whereas as a member of the criminal justice system, the Probation Department's mission is to build community by providing public safety through accountability and opportunity. Whereas on any given day, the Probation Department supervises approximately 4,000 adult and youthful offenders on some form of active community supervision and operates Juvenile Hall and the Juvenile Commitment Facility. And whereas Probation Services Week is a time to recognize and honor the dedication and professionalism exhibited by Probation Department staff who strive to make Stanislaus County a safer place to live and raise families. And whereas probation officers and probation corrections officers are diverse, trained professionals prepared to manage trauma and other needs of justice-involved individuals, and who safely supervise young people in custodial care and connect them with the resources they need. Whereas the Probation Department connects services to enhance community safety and the restoration of justice-involved individuals, the Probation Department is a connector in the justice system, bridging the gap and maximizing the resources available within the courts, local government, law enforcement, social services, behavioral health, schools, victim advocacy groups, nonprofits, and the community to reduce recidivism. And whereas the Probation Department efforts to balance the need for the accountability with individualized rehabilitative treatment and services provide justice-involved individuals the support and opportunities needed to move on to a healthier and safer life pathway. Whereas Probation Department staff have a profound impact on the health and safety of Stanislaus County by working to reduce recidivism through evidence-based programming and supervision. The Probation Department's success helps ensure the community is safer to live and prosper. Now therefore be it resolved that the Stanislaus County Board of Supervisors does hereby proclaim July 20th through the 26th, 2025 as Probation Services Week in Stanislaus County to highlight the Probation Department's immense contributions to the community. Okay, next up is Grayson Youth Advocacy Group.
Hola.
Hola.
Good morning. members of the board. My name is Lilia Lomeli Gil. I'm the assistant manager for the United Community Foundation at the United Community Center out in Grayson. Now, most of you, except for Supervisor Condit, have never been, that I know of, to our little 4x5 little farming community. It's located about 4 miles before you get to I-5, and it's we have 1,400 residents at the present time. During the 1960s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, Grayson was not a very safe place to live, with drugs, gang violence, home invasions, murders, a lot of shooting. There was nothing out there all those years except for a cantina, Maria's Cantina. Later, after it was torn down, and the all-inclusive One Stop was born in 1998. After 20 years of advocacy from a Grayson group of residents, the community park and center were built. That was in 2005. We had our grand opening in July of 2005. Memorable moment, because from then on, Grayson changed completely. 20 years later, it's a safe place to live, with the center being very, very active by providing events for all ages, from the Police Activities League, all these partnerships, of course, with VIP, Invest in Me, El Concilio, many agencies and nonprofits have joined together to make it a safe place to go and learn with informational sessions. Our focus lately has been on mental health and wellness. We have the National Night Out every year. Of course, we have about 250 to 300 individuals attend that event, and many more numerous to talk about right now. Again, thanks to the Parks and Rec, our park has improved after 20 years, just a little bit. We have not seen much improvement. Tara Chumley, about 2 months ago, did donate the soccer nets to replace the old torn ones. Daniel England has been he's been meeting the challenges of upgrading our park, but even then, there's so much more that needs to be done. Again, it took 20 years for the park and center to come together. And with the wannabe soccer fields, the play structures that we inherited 20 years ago, they were hand-me-downs from another park, are in great need of repairs. And basically, that's the only thing that's out there. The wannabe soccer fields have been improved little by little, but by volunteers. My hope, and I pray, that it doesn't take another 20 years to see meaningful improvements at our little park. We need it badly, and I just hope that I'm around to see those improvements. this group that's presenting Grayson is here with a wish list. So I hope you take a good look at that. And I am so proud, it makes me so proud to introduce you to the Grayson Youth Advocacy Group. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Board of Supervisors. Before I start, I want to thank you guys for the opportunity to present this to you guys in regards to our efforts of retrofitting the United Community Park in Grayson. My name is Lucy Sanchez, and I'm one of 3 leaders with the Youth Advocacy Group. So I think there was green binders handed to you guys. If you guys could turn and look at some reference images that I took of local communities, which one of them is Patterson and the other one is Grayson. So if you guys could shift your attention to Patterson, this is what most of us would expect from a park. And it's clean, well taken care of with many green areas and paths surrounding it. These parks include shaded areas which protect people from the sun during hot days. And the play structures that are shown are big enough for all ages to enjoy. And unlike Grayson, as you can see, the play structures have lost their color and appear very dull, which makes it look very uninviting. I believe it reduces excitement for children who go to the park. And then also, as you can see, the fields are in very poor condition with many uneven surfaces and potholes. This creates a lot of safety hazards and it limits a lot of playability. I also want to add, like Lilia said, these play structures were hand-me-downs, which means they weren't given to us brand new. And before I finish, I want to thank Tara Chumley and her team for their efforts in retrofitting Leroy Fitzsimmons Park, which was built 35 years ago, and the installation of 6 solar lights at the United Community Park in the near future. Yeah.
Good morning, Board of Supervisors. My name is Valerie Brambila. I'm 16 years old, and I've lived in the community of Grayson for 8 years. The reason why we are here trying to have this park retrofit is because, as Ms. Lily had mentioned, 20 years later, this park has remained the same and with only minor improvements. These parks can encourage families and friends to spend more time together and to come united. These parks can also create fun and active lifestyles for these kids. Okay, the retrofit of this park is important because it encourages families and friends to spend time together, and it would also reduce the amount of technology that is being used. These parks can become a fun and healthy option for everyone to come together and stay united. It gives kids a chance to make meaningful memories, and it would support a healthy lifestyle, and it will also provide a safe place away from negative influences. And as for me, this is important because I do have 2 younger sisters, one that is 7 and the other one is 3 years old.
It's okay.
This is important for me because they really do enjoy spending time at the park. Though I would love for them to spend time in an environment that is safe for them and welcoming and that is not on its last leg. Thank you.
Hello, good morning, Board of Supervisors. My name is Jose Manuel, and I'm 17 years old. I'm part of the Youth Advocacy Group, and I'm here to talk about why we need our community park renovated and improvised. The park has been hand-me-down for the past 20 years, and it would encourage people to go outside. I'm a coach for a soccer league for the age through 12, and I see my kids go through hard times because of the potholes and the ATV tracks and all the stuff that has been going through the parks. And I feel like if we do this, our park would be in better shape, and my kids wouldn't have to worry about getting hurt, or my kids, or the parents wouldn't have to worry about their kids getting hurt all the time. And we wouldn't have to worry about it all the time. And I feel like a good renovated park would help the community, or my community, and the kids play better, and would allow them to go outside more. And a good improvised park and renovated would encourage the people to go outside and let them play more. And for anybody that plays any sports, it would help them to come outside basically.
And what did your team accomplish?
We went 13-0 in the season for the whole year, and we won the season with 0 losses, 13 wins, and I hope these 20 years our park gets renovated, and we get to see it. Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you.
Good morning, members of the board. My name is Saida Waller, and I am 16 years old. I'm here today to speak about what a all-age retrofitted park would do to our community, the emotional well-being that it would bring. Starting off with movements that we do in the park, like walking, running, jogging, stretching, help our brain release our natural feel-good endorphins, such as dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and adrenaline. They will help reduce anxiety, feel more focused, and overall just happier. But it's more than just for the brain. It's a place where we could connect and have fun. Kids can socialize, teens and adults can hang out, feel safe, and clear their minds. Even the elderly can go on walks and be less isolated. So this all would mean bringing the community together and helping it and making it stronger, not just in body, but mind and soul. In the prioritized wish list, I added swings. And I added swings because I remember when I was younger how happy they made me feel. They made me feel like I was flying. They made me feel free. And I would love for kids in my neighborhood to also feel like the same thing that I felt when I was younger, and them not having to go to a whole different town just to experience that feeling. It's something small, but I think that it brings memorable memories, and thank you for your time.
Good morning, board. My name is Edgar. I lived in Grayson for around 8 years, and I did the community outreach. So far, we've gotten over 170 signatures. We did a booth in the Dia del Niño, and we completed surveys. We also did a presentation for the Young at Heart senior group, and that was a special experience since they've lived in Grayson longer than all of us. And we're going to continue to collect signatures. We're also doing this because it's something that's been needed for a very long time. The parks are all run down, and it helps with mental and health and wellness. And I added workout stations in the wish list because it helps with mental clarity and helps me stay active, as well as the others who like to partake in sports or martial arts. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello board, my name is Leonardo Garcia. I am 16 years old. I've lived in Grayson for the last 10 years, and during these last 10 years I've seen many lack of improvements in our parks that I would love to that be changed. Today, I bring us a prioritized wish list on number 4 on your guys' white paper. So if you guys could go, please, and check it out on number 4. On number 4, we have our wish list that is prioritized from number 1 through 15. Our number 1 being our most desired. Number 1 for me and my most desired would be fixing those soccer fields, just like everybody might agree with me, all those kids that play soccer. The soccer for me is my favorite sport as well, and it brings me, it makes me happy and or it makes me feel good about myself, and that's what makes me feel happy. I would appreciate if you members of the board took into consideration helping us make the United Community Park a priority when you guys next work on the game or when you next work on the master plan for the park. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, board members. I would like to give a special thanks to Chance Conduit and to Tara Chumley for all the work they have given to us. Also to all our partners that have been a part of this journey for us. I would like to begin by mentioning our future endeavors and past endeavors that we have made. One of them being here with the board with you guys. Another past endeavor that we had was with the Grayson Community Service District Board, where we had given them a presentation and asked for the support in our efforts and for what we were trying to do. Another past endeavor of ours was with the United Community Foundation. I would also like to give a special thanks to them because they were able to put aside $5,000 for our cause. Another past endeavor that we had accomplished was a car wash that we had not that long ago. It was a fundraiser, and I want to thank to all the members here in the Grayson Youth Advocacy Group that was there to help us. We were able to raise $500, a small drop in the pot, but it's still something, and we have a future endeavors that we would also like to accomplish. Some of these endeavors involve the PAL kids from the after school program, get them on board with our surveys, ask them what they think, and get them on board with our petition. Another past endeavors, like Lucci and Lilia had said, thanks to Tara Chumley, we were able to get goalposts and lighting in the United Community Park that's right there near the community center. Also had, like Lucci had said, we had got the Leroy Fitzsimmons Park update that had been there 35 years, I believe he said. And past endeavor included would be the signatures that Edgar had mentioned. We had gotten over 170 signatures from our community, and I would like to give a special thanks to everybody here that's right now listening to us, and I hope you guys all have a good morning.
Thank you.
I do want to just take a minute to recognize our Parks and Rec Director. If we're going to stand up here and take a photo. Lillian, John X, would you join us, please? And Juan? No, you're okay. But Tara Chumley has completely revamped the Parks and Rec Department under her leadership. She has been able to reach out to community groups such as the Youth Advocacy Commission. I've been with her in Crow's Landing throughout the Bonita Pool Project, dealing with the Crow's Landing CSD. We've collaborated with the Keys Unified School District. We've been out to Empire with Love Empire. And one of the great assets Tara has brought under her leadership into her toolbox is this willingness to collaborate, to advocate, and to work with our grassroots organizations such as the Youth Advocacy Group. I applaud each and every one of you for your outstanding leadership and taking the initiative to fight for your community, to rebuild your community, and to celebrate your community. And I stand with you in those efforts. And just keep going. You guys are making impact, you guys are making waves, and that's what needs to be done in order to see progress within your community. So keep fighting and keep advocating, and we'll keep working together and try to make sure that your community is uplifted. Thank you, guys.
John, don't go too far. You're next up. Thank you.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you. Great job.
John X. Mataka with the Grayson Neighborhood Council. Well, I'm going to be brief. I think you've heard enough about what these young people are requesting and the assistance that they're asking for. The Grayson Neighborhood Council and I, we fully support the youth advocacy group because, you know, oftentimes we say we support our youth, but it's not that often when you see youth come up into places like this before boards and pour their hearts out and tell you how they feel and what they want to do for their community. So this is a very special day for me. As a community activist for many, many years, it makes me feel really good and hopeful that the Grayson community has these young people who care enough about their community to come up and talk to a board. It's not an easy task when you're not used to talking in public. It's bad enough for adults, let alone young people. And so I credit them. I love what I see in the work that they're doing. And I want to say this, that they're not coming just asking for the county to do something. They're coming with putting something up themselves. They're doing car washes. They did a hell of a good job on my car. It looked really good. And they're doing car washes. They're doing fundraisers. So the community has come together, and there are people that have skills like landscaping skills, all that kind of skills that are needed to do some of this stuff, that are willing to step forward and assist. So we're not coming here just asking. We're coming here with labor and some expertise too as a community. So I just want that to be known, that, you know, it starts, you know, with people helping themselves. And these young peoples are a good example of that. So I thank you for your time and have a good day.
Thank you, John. Next up is Daniel Nichols. Welcome, Daniel.
Good morning, gentlemen, members of the board. My name is Daniel W. Nichols. I'm the CEO and president of two companies in the city here in Modesto, WLC Development, Inc. and Willow Land and Cattle Investments, LLC, owned by Kimberly M. Cuppins. My partner and I want to build 100 veterans' homes to start off with. I've met with the county planning department. They were negative because I want to buy a piece of property in Patterson, California for the right price, because the price of the houses that we're going to build is in the high $200,000 market and a low $300,000 market. A 1-bedroom, 1-bath, and a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. We've made it very clear with a company out of Sacramento who will deliver these homes to us, and these are stick-built homes. We have the financing from private people to do this, but here's the problem. There's 19,000 veterans in this county. So if you take the circle of a 30-mile radius around this county, there's over 100,000 veterans. They can afford houses in this county because the average price is $465,000. You get around Manteca, the average price down there is $800,000. You go to Merced, it's still $400,000. So the price of the land is the key to do the development for 100 veterans' homes. And the only place that I found here where we have the facilities close enough to the Veterans Clinic here in Modesto, California, it's a very fine clinic. I'm a veteran. Air Force KC-135s. The piece of property that I want to buy is right next to all the development on the northwest side of Patterson, California. But here's the problem. before you can turn dirt, we'll have $1,300,000 into this project. And then you have to pay, a developer like me has to pay to have Measure E in the county for everybody in the county to vote on it. If they vote it, they can vote it down. My investors, myself and my partner just lost $1 million. Gentlemen, the veterans have been in the back of everything else. Nobody has ever helped them before. And we want to build 100 veterans homes, exclusive, private roads, gated community, and we want to go continue on from there. Build these first 100, then another 100, because there's a high demand for this. Our government right now and our president is pushing very hard for veterans homes, and he wants to do everything he can for veterans. The Veterans Association here in Modesto, California, I've met with them several times, and there's several state and federal grants laying out there for this. Now, our private investors aren't going to use state and federal grants. We don't believe in that. Now, these veterans can come in here, and I've talked to several mortgage companies with very good credit. Now they can count rental properties. If you paid your rent due every month for 12 months, you get a very good credit rating. These veterans can get in these houses, 0 down, 30-year fixed mortgages, lower than mortgages that people like me and you and the people out here in the audience can get, and that they'll pay less money than what they're paying for rent, and now they own a home. And there's a big demand for this because the veterans are tired of being used. There's been 400,000 people died for this country from World War II up to now. Vietnam, 53,000, and I was there. And nobody's doing nothing to help them. So I've decided, my group's decided to help these people get into a house to become real, productive citizens where they pay taxes and the government gets money back from them. So what I want to do is I need help on Measure E, because I'm not going to have my investors go out and spend $1,300,000 hoping that Measure E will pass. So I'm asking you to think deep in your hearts about this project. And the reason I picked Patterson is because the price of land in Patterson is cheap enough to build these houses for $285,000 and $300,000. So see what you can do to help me and my group get away from that Measure E, because that will kill us. And that's one reason big developers don't like coming in here. And I deal with D.R. Horton all the time. And
Thank you, Mr. Nichols.
thank you.
All right, next up, Ron McMurtry.
Mr. Chairman, under the circumstances, I yield my time for this item. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next up, Brian Evett.
Good morning, Council. Hi, Bose. Brian Evett. Anyway, I'm here on behalf of, we're all children of this county. You know, that's the way I look at it. We all need the protection and guidance. We all need this. Like these kids, I grew up and the parks had game places and people to meet. And it was kind of cool because we got to go in there and play games with our friends and everything. And I think it's only right that we try to turn around and keep that together. So we should open up our parks again like we used to have them in the old days. It was really good. You know, we'd have supervisors there that would turn around and join in with the kids, get them to play the games. We'd pull the games out and they'd interact. Interaction is really good. Kids need that interaction. So that way they have friends and they realize, wow, we got friends. The more friends we make is great, you know? And that's what we're here for. As citizens, we're all children of this county, you know? And I think that's just great. And the same way with our county hospitals. You know, we're not focusing on the families that support the people that are in these hospitals. That's the cure. When you get a county hospital, and just like COVID was going on, and we cut the families away from the people, we had more deaths during that time. And I noticed that same way with our doctor's hospital. Even my dad, I went in to see him, 15 minutes later, they pushed me out, threatened to call the cops on me, ran me off, then called me 15 minutes later and say he's doing CPR. That's because they turned around and sedated him, over-sedated him. Instead, all he wanted is family around him. Now this is what we gotta turn around. We gotta watch the hospitals. We have a sheriff's department that has a coroner's, okay, they have a chaplain. Now, if we have a county hospital and somebody dies in that hospital, why isn't the chaplain out there to find out? Let's protect these people. Protect the families, make sure that they come in there, protect our kids. We're all kids of this county. You know, it doesn't matter what our age is. As we grow older, we even act like kids more. You know, that's the way it is. But this is what we gotta do. We gotta really look into this. And we're gonna be dealing with the doctor's hospital. We're gonna talk about the doctor's hospital. It's a county-run hospital. But it needs changes. It needs openness, not force the families out. We're not playing COVID anymore. You can't come see your family. No, we wanna rejoice that. We wanna bring the family in. We wanna give them strength for healing. This is what we are. We are the doctors. We are the ones that's supposed to look at it. We are the police. It's a simple thing. Even our own sheriffs. Let's look at the story of Mayberry. Anybody watch Mayberry? I know all you did. There's Andy, right? And there's the deputy. The same way our sheriff is supposed to protect us. That's what they're called. Secure health, ensure rights, and fact-finding. So when our sheriff takes an intake in a jail, they need to protect us even from the local, which is the city cops, because maybe they're not trained properly. Now, when they come in an intake to the jail, they ought to be reviewed. Is this good? Are these the facts? Is this real? Or what we're gonna have is anarchy, just anarchy. That means every little city could do whatever they want. We'll just be right back to the gangs like we were in the 70s, where we got the bar hoppers running it. We might as well just put a sign on. Even down on my street on Dakota now, I notice I come down there, we got a big biker gang sign on an old beat up truck. Now, if that's what we're doing is just turning into little gangs everywhere, we're not protecting. We're just in a battle. That means we're forgetting about the kids. We're forgetting about that. We were the kids. We're forgetting about that. And the main thing is family has to be stuck together. We are all one family, you know? So we have to protect each other. That's it. And we have to enjoy each other. And the way I see it, it is happening. Now, I just went through it. I got arrested. I got scabies. I was put into jail. They put me in contaminated cells. They didn't care about me, and I'm elderly. I'm 65 years old. You don't put elderly people in contaminated cells. You just don't do it. Wet cells. No, that's illegal. But they did it to me, and then they held me 4 days. Is this the way we're going to treat our kids? All because a burglar says, oh, he threatened me. They wouldn't make the arrest. Why would they arrest him when I asked to be arrested? So is this what our kids are going to go through, the same thing? We're just going to be pushed around, shoved into stuff, and nobody's going to care? Start caring. Otherwise, elect me. I'll make it happen. I don't care if I have to battle, fight, or whatever, because this is what we need. Is
Mr. Evans.
I know my time's up, and I thank you guys. I just hope it gets through sometime, just a little bit.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, guys.
All right, that was the last comment card I have. Is there anyone out there in the audience that would like to make public comment on anything that is not on the agenda?
Good morning,
Morning.
Chairman Condit and the Stanislaus Board of Supervisors. It's an honor to be here. My name is Joey Chavez. I'm the district representative for Senator Maria Alvarado Gil. I'm here to give a legislative update as well as highlight what to expect going forward, especially in light of the new legislative session coming up in December. So firstly, I'd like to call attention to SB 229, which was recently signed into law by Governor Gavin Newsom. It amends the penal code to add Amador and Nevada counties to the list of jurisdictions where custodial deputy sheriffs are officially recognized as peace officers. Now, this highlights Senator Alvarado Gil's legislative focus on rural law enforcement capacity expansion, and speaks to broader Central Valley issues that are relevant to Stanislaus County. The bill empowers rural custodial deputies to respond to evacuations, roadblocks, and search and rescue, freeing up patrol deputies for more complex tasks. The other concerns addressed by this bill include staffing shortages, recruitment and retention of qualified deputies, training expansions as well. SB 229 reinforces the argument for investing in sheriff departments across rural counties, especially those struggling with budget constraints and high inmate populations. So the senator is very enthusiastic to collaborate with the governor here and have him hear the input rural voters in Senate District 4 have given to her, and looks forward to continuing to serve Stanislaus County as well as the rest of the Senate District. Next up, the senator had a fantastic time at the Stanislaus County Fair. I know a couple members of the board were present as well, and she'd like to offer special commendation to the Fair Board for their long time, work, effort, after hours preparations for the fantastic fair that makes Stanislaus County fantastic itself. Lastly, the senator is holding mobile office hours all throughout Senate District 4 and Stanislaus County. We were in Waterford last week, and you can expect to see us going forward in Newman, Riverbank, Denair, Patterson, and other communities to increase accessibility. If you are a constituent that is in need of CalVet assistance, DMV assistance, or EDD, feel free to drop by 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. either Tuesdays or Thursdays. You can check our social media for more information. We are located off of 15th Street in 1020 15th Street, Suite 21. We're available 9 to 5, and our phone number is 209-576-6001. I yield the rest of my time. Thank you.
Thank you, Joey. Thank you for being here. Any others? Come on up.
Good morning, Community Board Supervisors and community. My name is Laura Plasencia, and I am a lifelong resident here of Stanislaus County, and I am a community organizer with Valley Improvement Projects. I am here today in support of the Grayson Youth Advocacy Group, and overall want to congratulate the youth for all of their hard work and all of their efforts, and ensuring of, wanting to make the park better, not just for themselves, but also for their community, for the elders, and for their generations to come. We've been meeting since December, at least monthly, to plan, coordinate, assess, do research, and to engage community outreach and understand what the community would like to see as well. During our canvassing, community members shared that they wish for you all to know that around 90% of the community is Spanish speaking. Along with that, the community deals with transportation limitations, which is why having an effective park on site is very valuable. I grew up part of my childhood in Wesley, which is the next nearby town from Grayson, and I know what it's like to have to drive very far to get to places. I understand that funding is limited and it's often led by population numbers, but I'd like to advocate to take into consideration the proximity to other recreational areas and to prioritize upgrades in areas that are more geographically isolated. Now, while we're talking about geographical location, it is hard for me to understand how, although the river is right next to Grayson, the parks in Grayson, and this park has no nice green grass. If you go and look at other parks in Patterson, the grass looks very luscious, very green, very soft. But if you see the parks here in Grayson, it's very pokey. There's a lot of patches. where it's not watered, and the youth have had voiced that they've had incidents while running and falling and getting hurt. And therefore, I'd like to advocate for getting more access to water so that their park can also look green and inviting like some of these other parks in Patterson do. In addition, overall, these more rural communities need to be prioritized a little bit more and be engaged around community outreach and understand what is it that the community really wants and needs in these areas. Having more welcoming and useful parts of the community, like as mentioned, having green grass, having shaded playgrounds and picnic tables, and more amenities like sports nets and courts where youth can safely engage in physical activity. Lastly, I would like to request active collaboration with communities who are ready and willing to be able to begin making upgrades to parks. And I would like to advise to allocate more funding to areas that are more secluded and rural and only have one recreational area within their community. And overall, I believe that engaging community around more, doing more outreach and having a good understanding of what the community needs are and priorities is a good and effective way to ensure to try and give to the community back what the community needs. Thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to continuing hearing more and learning how to continue to make upgrades for the park. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Public comments? Any other public comments? Sorry about that. All right, seeing none, we're going to be moving to consent calendar. Any board member like to pull any consent items?
I don't need to pull an item, but I think I need to sit out on, as a result of the Levine Act, I think on item C3, I think I need to sit that one out.
Okay.
As a result of a recent fundraiser I had for my reelection and a contribution that I received.
Okay.
Motion to approve all consent items other than item C3?
I do have a couple comment cards from the audience. So the comment cards are for B9, if we can do everything but B9.
All right, motion to approve all consent items other than B9 and C3?
There you go.
Second.
I have a first and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous. Okay. Stephen Morrow.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Mr. Hayes and Mr. Bowes. I'm here to speak on item B9 and to thank the sheriff for stepping up to help provide security for our bus facilities so we can help provide effective service for our community. So as a rider and as a member of the Stan RTA board, we want to thank the sheriff for stepping up and helping us out. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Stephen. Next up, Ron McMurtry for B9.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Ron McMurtry, B9. I'm very interested in the Stan RTA operations and everything. I go to the board meetings, so this is an interesting item, and I'm always trying to educate myself about how things function, interactions. And I was told by Joshua that the sheriff to engage in this contract has to be approved by this board. I just want to put some context on here. I've noticed the kind of state of things have been deteriorating, and I don't think that anyone has missed that. The Stan RTA senior transit analysts have given many presentations about assaults on bus drivers, and in one case, a really bad arson of portable toilets. So things are deteriorating. There's a lot more stress out there. There's a lot less support out there, and so people are put into a situation of desperation. So this is a two-edged sword. On the one hand, I'm pleased that the Stan RTA has figured out a way to deal with this escalation using a sheriff department, and law enforcement authority that would have more authority to, say, arrest But, you know, I am dismayed that the fact that now it's commercial contractors cannot handle the security any longer, or not in an efficient way. Okay, retroactive. This is something I'll do at the end, but I've noticed a lot of items on the consent calendar are retroactive, and I want to get back to that later. I don't know if I have a question. I just want to I'm kind of curious about this myself, about, you know, since this is going to be a contract between Stan RTA and the Sheriff's Department, you know, I know the Sheriff's deputies have been coming there advocating for more money, for more deputies or better paying, so I'm hoping that maybe this can address a little bit of that, and I don't know if there's any other JPAs or whatever that maybe need to, you know, maybe use sheriff's services more directly. It's just a curious, just consider this. And then the other thing I want to make sure that when this item is approved, that there is some sort of communication. I'm a big fan of communication. I'm a teacher. What about the behavioral health department? You know, because the sheriff will have the right to arrest people and get them out so they don't repeat. See, repeating offenders is the problem, and there's this long process in Stan RTA about when you can kick them off for good. Sometimes in very serious cases, they kind of have their hands tied behind their back a little bit, you know, because we have to respect civil rights. So it's a tough balance. You guys all know about that. So anyway, I just wanted to, you know, to see that the behavioral health, since the sheriff's deputies would be allowed to arrest people, that they would get into that system. And I got the acronym here. BHRS should get a heads up, an official heads up saying, you know, now that the sheriff is doing this, heads up, we may have to, you know, some new people may be in your system now. Okay. Behavior. Okay, I did that. Okay. So the final thing is about the this is kind of unrelated to this specific. I've been a lot of retroactive, and I kind of wonder about. I have a question. I guess this is a question probably for Mr. Bose. I'm not sure, but since a lot of these items are retroactive, what are the rules about, since these are retroactive? Are these departments considered, allowed to go ahead and, you know, until you guys officially vote, to go ahead and execute, you know, like the sheriff? Does the sheriff supposed to be taking effect July 1st? Well, we're past July 1st, so is the sheriff just, you know, allowed to operate like this, you know, assuming you're going to be approving the agenda item? Who can answer that for me? Is that both, or is that Chief Hayes' item? I guess it's a legal item. It's got to be Counselor Bose.
You can call Mr. Bose and he can explain the process to you. It's a lot to explain,
okay.
Unless Jody has a quicker explanation.
I don't know that I'm going to provide a legal explanation, but I will just comment generally on retroactive agreements. This is something that we strive not to occur within. You know, you don't want to bring an agreement that's retroactive, but there are a variety of reasons why that happens, and actually why it's increased over the last year or two for a variety of reasons. So we strive in each agenda item to at least document what was it that created the circumstances, why this was retroactive. If there are things that are within our control, then we will also note the steps that we're taking to ensure we don't do it again. But in this case, I don't know that I'm not opining on this particular agenda item at all. We have no concerns with the brief period of retroactivity on this particular item, but I just wanted to speak broadly about it. Yeah. It is something that we watch for. And unfortunately, a lot of those that you see come through are things that are just outside of our control due to the funding sources we're working with.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Chief Hayes. In this case, I just think it's because Stan RTA had to make an approval first, and it takes time to get to you guys. So, you know, I don't know what the circumstances are doing. Anyway, thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Ron. Any other public comment about B9? Seeing none. We're just going to take B9 by itself.
Let's do B9 real quick.
Yeah, I just want to, if I could comment really quickly, because we're talking about 2 full-time equivalents here, and we're talking about maybe 1,000 square miles other than the Turlock area. So, but there's so many things they can do to help out on the investigative side and some of the other components. It's not them sitting down at the transit center keeping people from loitering necessarily, but it's going to make the whole system safer. They're going to have best practices implemented. There's a lot of things that are going to happen. So I'm very supportive of this, and I think it's a great idea.
I'm just going to chip in too. I appreciate the sheriff doing this. This was something we thought when we were looking to, I sit on the Stan RTA board also with Stephen, and we just thought it seemed like a great idea, just a great fit, and I appreciate Jeff stepping up for this. in his department, and just to have the expertise, professionalism involved in security as compared to what we had before. And I think it's more efficient. I think it's ended up going to be cheaper than what we were paying, but the Stan RTA was paying before. So now Jeff thinks he should have charged us more after I said that. I know that. But no, I think it works out great.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We got one more comment. All right. I have a first and a second. The clerk have the first and a second? All right. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Unanimous. All right.
Motion to approve item C3.
Second.
I have a first and a second on C3. Anybody have any public comment on C3? C3. Seeing none, I have a first and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Passes 4-0 with one abstention. All right, we're going to take a 5-minute break. Okay, back on the record. Public hearing pursuant to the tax, nope. Public hearing to consider revising the load carrying capacity of the Monte Vista Avenue Bridge over the Turlock Irrigation District Series Main Canal pursuant to Section 35751 of the California Vehicle Code. Public Works, Dave Lamont.
Good morning, Chair Condit, board members, COAs, council blows. We're here to consider a load rating revision. I'm here with Sam Schrun, Deputy Director of Engineering Services, and he'll take over.
Good morning. Thank you, Dave. So during the latest biannual inspection performed by Caltrans in March of 2025, they found new deterioration on the bridge, which prompted a new load calculations that showed a reduction in the load carrying capacity. And per this California Vehicle Code Section 35751, it requires the Board of Supervisors to hold a public hearing to establish new weight limitations for this county-owned bridge. What was found were widespread concrete spalls and exposed bottom reinforcement on the bridge. The exposed reinforcement with section loss of approximately 50%. Public Works staff will actively look to identify funds to replace this bridge expeditiously. Likely the HPP program is what we've been using to replace bridges, and we'll look into that as a source of funding. With the new restrictions is 22 tons per vehicle, 35 tons per semi-trailer combination, 40 tons per truck and full trailer. No permit loads are allowed. This is an aerial image of the actual bridge location. It's located approximately 2 miles west of the city of Turlock. And next slide, Dave. And this is just the Google Street view of the bridge from both sides. And this here is a couple pictures of the spalling of the concrete along with the reinforcement that is shown at the bottom there. And obviously there's corrosion and other matters on the bridge, underside of the bridge that should not be there.
And the bridge is about 110 years old, Sam?
115.
115 years old.
Yeah, quite old. With that said, staff recommendations, we find that the notice of public hearing was published in compliance with Section 6066 of the Government Code. To conduct a public hearing to receive comments regarding the revision of the load carrying capacity of the Monte Vista Avenue Bridge over the Turlock Irrigation District Series Main Canal. And lastly, accept the revised bridge load rating from the Caltrans Division of Structural Maintenance and Investigations for the Monte Vista Avenue Bridge over the TID Series Main Canal. That concludes our presentation, and we're open for questions.
Any questions from the board? Seeing none, I'm gonna.
Too often.
Yeah, too often. Right. Dave, how many bridges have we had to reduce the load capacity in the last?
About a half dozen, Sam?
Yeah, about 5, I believe, in the last year or so. Maybe year and a half, unfortunately. We're getting a couple of them replaced, though, so that's good.
Yeah, you want to just give a little bit of synopsis of why it takes so long to replace bridges over canals or a creek and the difference of?
Part of it right now for us is funding. There just isn't quite enough funding to go for 80 plus 100-year-old bridges. They all probably need to be planned on being replaced here in the next 20 years, and there just isn't enough funding for it. The Highway Bridge Program is impacted and full, and so trying to get a new project into the federal aid system is tough. Plus, it takes a decade in the federal aid system. We'd probably be better off trying to do a smaller bridge like this, like we did Shell Road Bridge up in your district, Buck. Where it was less than $500,000 to replace a bridge. We bought a bunch of stuff that was pre-manufactured. Road crews did the work. This one might be a good candidate for something like this also. So that's kind of our, just not quite enough money, and we need to do some road maintenance too. So.
Dave, you think this one's about 500,000 too, about similar to the one you're talking about?
It would probably be a bit more like 750, probably if we were going to do it ourselves. Costs have gone up since we did that one, just a tad. So I would imagine it'd be, but short of $1 million. If we did a contract with a contractor, all in, it'd probably be closer to $2 million to replace this thing.
$2 million for this?
Right, with a design and a little bit of right-of-way and hiring a contractor, I think it'd be closer to $1.5 million to 2 million. Just
Well, you look at that bridge, and it's just this tiny little bridge.
right there.
Yeah.
Not cheap.
Wow, what about the environmental studies between going over a canal, between going over a creek or a river?
If it was a federal aid project, then yes, you have to clear NEPA, and Caltrans holds it very rigorously. For us, this is CEQA exempt. It's a replacement of an existing facility, and so we file a notice with the clerk, and off we go. So environmental is much easier for us, CEQA only, than to include NEPA. NEPA, we wind up doing birds and bat studies and all sorts of stuff.
Okay. All right. Any other questions from the board? Seeing none, I'm going to open up public hearing. Anyone wishing to make comment on this agenda item? Come on up.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Ron McMurtry again. I'm just educating myself again, so Director Meekum, I assume that when you make these changes, trucking companies and whatever that ship things around need to be informed. What kind of outreach, how does your outreach work to inform people about changes in bridge standards or any infrastructural road changes?
Our permit office does have a list for all the annual permit holders, so we let them know. And so when the signs go up, the neighborhood will see, oh, this bridge is weight restricted. So then, because it's 40 tons for semi-truck and trailer, that is a legal load, so that's not too terrible. So, and I would imagine the guys who are farming almonds and everything else, they'll either be under 40 tons or they'll go the opposite direction.
There's also a social media post that we put up to notify the public on our county website.
Yeah, I just thought these guys may not know to be monitoring because they have no idea. This is underneath, so people won't see the damage necessarily. But I'm glad to see you have a good database, so I'm pleased to hear that. I'm a big data guy, so thank you.
Thank you, Ron. Any others like to make comment on this item? Seeing none, I'm going to bring it back to the board and close the public hearing. Any other comments? I'll entertain a motion.
Motion approved.
Second.
I have a first and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Unanimous.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Moving on to the next public hearing. Public hearing pursuant to the Tax and Equity Fiscal Responsibility Act, TEFRA, to consider approval of a resolution to authorize membership in the California Public Finance Authority for the purpose of issuing bonds not to exceed $30 million for use by Agriplex of Modesto LLC. Chief Executive Office, Jewel Ward.
Thank you. Good morning, Chairman Condit, Board of Supervisors, CEO Hayes, and County Council Bowes. Today we are facilitating a public hearing pursuant to the Tax and Equity Fiscal Responsibility Act, commonly called or referred to as TEFRA, related to the proposed issuance of conduit revenue bonds by the California Public Finance Authority, CalPFA, for the benefit of Agriplex of Modesto LLC to provide for the financing of a capital project. My name is Jewel Ward, Deputy Executive Officer, and with me is Amanda Keaton, Management Consultant from the Chief Executive Office. We also have with us today Anthony Cialone, CEO, President, and Will Cialone, Business Development Analyst from Agriplex, as well as Austin Root, Bond Counsel with Miller Campfield. In accordance with the Tax, Equity, and Fiscal Responsibility Act of 1982, or TEFRA, and Internal Revenue Code Section 147F of 1986, the governing body of the jurisdiction in which a project to be financed is located, so in this case, Stanislaus County, is required to hold a public hearing and approve the issuance of the bonds as the host. Today's public hearing meets TEFRA requirements as stipulated by code. Amanda will explain how the financing works and walk us through the proposed project.
Good morning. Agriplex of Modesto, the borrower, is requesting the board's adoption of a resolution to approve the issuance of tax-exempt bonds in an amount not to exceed $30 million. The California Public Financing Authority is a joint powers authority created to assist in the issuance of tax-exempt and taxable bonds for projects that provide public benefit. The project includes acquisition, development, and equipping of the facility. Once operational, Agriplex anticipates creating numerous local jobs, including both construction and permanent operations staff. The project will use modern waste recovery methods to help protect the environment and support sustainable efforts in our region. The California Public Financing Authority, or CalPFA, is a joint powers authority created to facilitate tax-exempt and taxable bond financing for qualified projects that serve a public benefit. In this case, CalPFA will serve as the conduit issuer for the bonds. It is important to note that Stanislaus County is not financially liable for the repayment of these bonds. The county is simply fulfilling its legal role as the host jurisdiction by holding this hearing and considering the resolution. The project will be located at 3093 Finch Road in Modesto, within approximately 80,000 square feet of lease space inside an existing building. Once operational, the facility will run 24 hours a day. It will initially employ 16 staff members with plans to grow to a team of 25 over the next few years as operations expand. The facility is not expected to generate any retail traffic. On average, approximately 12 trucks per day will be used for product shipment and logistics. The site will utilize public water and sewer services and will include appropriate lighting and signage in compliance with local standards. Restrooms will also be available on site for both employees and truck visitors.
So once again, the county will have no obligation, liability, or responsibility for the project or the repayment of the obligations. The CalPFA will issue the obligations as conduit revenue bonds for the benefit of Agriplex of Modesto. The county's responsibility lies in conducting the TEFRA public hearing and certifying there exists a public benefit to the project. The project aligns with the county's goals for environmental sustainability and economic development by promoting green materials and creating local jobs. Stanislaus County must also join CalPFA as a non-charter member, consistent with other local agencies that participate in CalPFA projects, and adopt a resolution approving the issuance of bonds or execution of a loan transaction by the CalPFA in an amount not to exceed $30 million. There is no cost associated with membership, and the county may withdraw from the JPA after the obligations have been issued. Notice of the public hearing was issued on July 1, 2025. Staff have also provided notice of the proposed project and pending TEFRA hearing to the Stanislaus County Debt Advisory Committee on May 30th, 2025, and received no questions or concerns in response. So there are 3 staff recommendations associated with today's TEFRA hearing. One is to conduct the scheduled public hearing to receive public comment under the requirements of TEFRA and the Internal Revenue Code of 1986 in connection with the proposed issuance of conduit revenue bonds by CalPFA, a joint powers authority and public entity of the state of California. 2, adopt the attached resolution to approve the issuance of tax-exempt bonds by CalPFA not to exceed $30 million for the benefit of Agriplex of Modesto, LLC, to provide for the financing of the capital project located at 3093 Finch Road in Modesto. And finally, authorize the chairman of the Board of Supervisors or his designee to sign and execute the JPA agreement relating to CalPFA. At this time, we ask that you conduct the public hearing. Staff and representatives from Agriplex and the Bond Council are available for any questions you may have.
Thank you. Any questions from the board?
Just a quick question. I wonder if Agriplex, have you ever used this form of financing for other operations, and is this the first time?
First one.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions before I open up the public hearing? Seeing none, I'm going to open up the public hearing. Any public comment on this agenda item? Seeing none, I'm going to close the public hearing and bring it back to the board for either more comment, questions, or motion.
Motion to approve.
I have a first.
Motion second.
I have a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous. All right, moving on. Discussion items. Acceptance of an update on the Farm Worker Advisory Committee and appointment of members. Chief Executive Office, Tina Rocha and Linda Penfold.
All right. See, it's still good morning. We can say good morning.
Still good morning.
Just checking. Okay. Okay. I'm good? Okay. All right. So good morning again. Chairman, Board Member, CEO Hayes, and County Council Bowes. Tina Rocha, Assistant Executive Officer. With me is Linda, Agricultural Commissioner and Sealer of Weights and Measures. So we're pleased to be here today to provide you with an update on the Farm Worker Advisory Committee, and then also to seek some direction on the committee's composition as well as appointment of some of the members. So by way of quick background, on November 12th, your board established the Farm Worker Advisory Committee as a one-year pilot program. During that meeting, you also directed the clerk of the board to post the vacancies and accept applications, and also appointed the agricultural commissioner to provide oversight and to support the committee. The primary goal was to enhance the understanding and visibility issues facing the county's farm worker population, including employment conditions and access to safety net services and housing, and to provide a forum for sharing information, resources, and gathering feedback on opportunities for improvement. So on the screen, you will see the composition of the committee. It consists of 14 members. It has one member representing the agricultural industry, another representative for the Agricultural Advisory Board, one farm labor contractor, and then a representative from a community-based organization dedicated to serving the county's farm worker population, and 10 farm workers, 2 from each supervisorial district. Staff had originally recommended 1 farm worker per district, but after public input and board dialogue, your board had decided to increase the number to 2 per district. Your board also authorized a $100 stipend per meeting for up to 6 meetings per year for the farm worker representatives. So at this time, I'll go ahead and turn it over to Linda. She's going to discuss some of the outreach and recruitment efforts.
Thanks, Tina. So in February of 2025, that is when we began the initial recruitment. And initially it concluded at the end of February, but we didn't receive very many applications. So we have had multiple extensions, with the most latest conclusion of the application period being July 15th. We have had distribution of recruitment flyers and membership applications, both in English and Spanish, to registered farm labor contractors. We've emailed a list of growers. We have shared information and worked with the Stanislaus Farm Bureau. We've posted on our county websites as well as social media websites. We've shared this on our community manager email list to over 500 subscribers. Shared this with municipal advisory councils, and have 86 local media contacts. This has also been on La Voz de Valle, or the Voice of the Valley Spanish language radio program. So this is a breakdown of the applications that we have received so far. 2 for the agricultural industry representatives, that would be Anthony Rado and Alejandro Rodriguez. 2 from farm labor contractors, and we've also verified that these folks are registered with my office. That would be Benjamin Lopez and Sergio Luis Alfaro Tinoco. And we've had 4 community-based organizations submit applications. That would be California Rural Legal Assistance, National Migrant Head Start, Central Valley Opportunity Center, and El Consiglio, California. Also, it should be noted we've had 2 other applications, but they did not seem to fit. The applications were primarily for farm workers, but they didn't seem to fit into meeting the requirements for farm workers. So our staff recommendations is, so first and foremost, we're asking that you please accept this update for the Farm Worker Advisory. But as well, we're recommending that your board please identify and appoint 1 representative to the Agricultural Industry Representative seat for the Farm Worker Advisory, to identify and appoint 1 representative to the Community-Based Organization seat of the Farm Worker Advisory, to identify and appoint 1 representative to the Farm Labor Contractor seat of the Farm Worker Advisory Committee, and also, at least to get this started, to approve the reduction of the farm representatives from 2 farm workers per advisory district to 1 farm worker per advisory district, but to still maintain the $100 stipend per meeting, up to 6 meetings per calendar year for each farm worker representative. I think one comment I would like to share is I think the idea of hopefully getting the representatives appointed, that may also help to encourage farm workers to apply, to participate, because they would already have an idea of some of the people who are already on the committee. So with that being said, if there's any questions, we'd love to hear from them.
Linda, can I add just one
Sure.
thing on there? The other recommendation would be if you do choose to move forward today and appoint those seats on the committee, that the committee would not be convened until the farm worker representatives had been appointed as well. So as Linda was saying, we thought by identifying at least a few of the members now, that might help for some recruitment and some validity to the committee, but we would recommend it not actually be convened until the farm worker representatives have been identified and seated.
Thank you.
Any questions from the board?
I would ask, Mr. Chairman, that we consider just holding off point number 5, just because I do believe that your last point has credence, Linda and Tina, that if we can establish some of these members, maybe we will have more success in recruitment. So I would just like to hold off and see if they do have success so that we could still try to get 2 farm workers per supervisorial district. So that would be my only modification, if you will.
Go ahead.
One question that I have, since it has been difficult to attract farm workers to the committee, is what would be the downside, or how would it not work if we were to have 2 CBO representatives? And the reason I ask that, just bear with me on it, is I feel that the reason that we haven't been able to attract a lot of applicants is sometimes the trust factor, right? And they might not want to come, especially in these very unusual times, that they need a trust and want someone that can vouch for this committee, or they see people that they trust on the committee. And if we had another CBO rather than just having 1, wouldn't that add to our outreach? And that was just one thing that I wanted to.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think, I frankly don't have an opinion one way or the other. I think that was something that was brought forward when this was initially proposed in November. And the adjustment was to go ahead and just to adjust the number of farm workers, but I do recall that there was discussion amongst your board as to if there would be another CBO.
I think Supervisor Graywall's recommendation has credence, and I think it only would widen our net and would increase, hopefully, our participation trying to get those farm workers to the table. Because again, this committee is nothing without the farm workers. We have to have their voice and their input and their insight, and that at the root of it all is the core purpose of this committee. So Supervisor Graywall is right on track.
Terry, do you have a comment? I know you were reaching for your mic. Any other questions or comments? Go to the public comment. All right, open up public comment. My first card is John X. Mataka, but I do not see him in the room. Next is Dr. Anna Andrade, sorry. Good morning.
Supervisor, Chairman Condit and Supervisors, thank you. I've waited a long time to come up today. Ana Andrade. Today I am representing the Executive Committee of the Modesto, Stanislaus, NAACP. I'm here to make a few points on behalf of our President, Wendy Bird, and our branch. As you all know, our mission is to advocate for political, educational, and social economic equity for all persons, including farm workers. We applaud the county's efforts to include not only the voices of the farm workers, but to also extend an invitation to community and community-based organizations. As you all know, community engagement is a powerful tool for doing anything really. I want to go ahead and point out that, we've been tossing around, or you all have been tossing around the return on investment, right? And I do the same thing too. And it's definitely very important to bring on board the farm workers into this conversation and to have trusted individuals so that they can share. Another big point that was brought up earlier with the young people is not only hearing of their concerns, but also having them share of critical points. And when I say that, I'm talking about having them be active participants and inform the biocircular economy moving forward. So I'm hopeful that you will all kind of maybe tweak the mission and say, okay, we want to hear about their housing, we want to hear about, conditions, but we also want them to inform us, right? Because at the end of the day, they're working out in the fields. How are they seeing this biocircular economy? We need them to also inform us. Anyways, that's a little side bit there for you all. Anyways, my purpose here is I want to express my support for CRLA as the community-based organization. They have a very professional, they have a reputation to be professional. They have integrity. They very much remain neutral. And I think they would be an asset to the county as well. I saw their application and I found it very interesting that they noted that they do not have any personal or professional conflicts of interest. And I highlight the, professional piece. They do not have any. At the end of the day, they want the best for the community. They want the best for the county, and I wholeheartedly support CRLA for the appointment as CBO for the Farm Worker Advisory Committee. I thank you for listening to me and listening to my humble opinion. Have a great day.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you. Any other public comment on this agenda item? Ron?
Thank you once again, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Commissioner Pinfold. Okay, a couple things, and you guys have discussed this, and I don't know, maybe it's because I didn't understand governmentese, but I do want to back up Supervisor Chance-Condit and also Supervisor Graywall about item number 5, and then I have another concern. But let's start with Supervisor Condit. Supervisor Condit, it's the reason why the original proposal was made, so it's 2 per thing. And what I want to suggest is a compromise so that we can try to get going is to have the quorum be that 1 member from each district must be present. That can be a quorum requirement, allowing you to have your first meeting, but you will continue to recruit up to 2 in good faith from then on until you fill up all 10 positions. That's my suggestion for compromise. I don't know, it seems obvious to me. The second thing, and then that's deals with both supervisors' comments, kind of can put that together. I think that's a smart thing. My other thing is, I know you haven't done this before, so this is a problem because with the kind of ICE actions from the federal government, I'm wondering if you're getting any perception that that's made your job more difficult in recruitment than it would already be.
Is that a question? directed
Yeah, it's
to
a
me?
question. If it's too much putting you on the spot, because I don't know if you were, I made a comment to that effect last meeting about, I noticed we didn't get a lot of the usual people that, are advocates for these folks.
So I think if I can just put it, I have received comments from various people in the farming community as to concerns as to the actions that are occurring right now. And certainly concerns as far as safety and security. And I think here again, that is one thing to help underscore the recommendation to have I start to identify people that farm workers who may be interested in applying can be able to know, okay, these are people I can contact. These are people who can help advocate so I can feel more safe to represent. So I know that it's very clear that there's those concerns out there. Yeah. And I will be frank, I can't speak to knowing for sure but I can't help but imagine that does not contribute to being a big concern.
Okay, thank you. And then in a private conversation about the public, because again, these same concerns, I know you're the contact person. I'm comfortable contacting you about this once this thing gets going, but as the people being represented here, I do want to recommend, if that's not already part of the plan, that there be a one of the members from the actual, farm workers be a public-facing, one of the braver ones, a public-facing person that someone can contact if they're not comfortable reaching a government department like yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. Any other public comments on this agenda item? Seeing none, I'm going to bring it back to the board. Correct. Actually, go ahead, Tom.
So I'm noticing that in the staff recommendations, we do not have a request to appoint a member of the Ag Advisory Board. Just want to point that out and give you an opportunity to explain why that is.
So I think right now, the Ag Advisory Board has not yet agreed as to somebody they would like to put forward.
Okay.
I think that they wanted to, at this point, just kind of see how it was going to flow, and then when it was ready, then they would offer somebody forward for the board to consider.
Okay. Let me just add, as the board is thinking about this is going to be tough on staff. One way you might make it easier is to go through each staff recommendation and have a motion on each staff recommendation. If that's what you're looking to do, if you're looking to make larger changes to this committee, then maybe that wouldn't be appropriate. But if you're staying with the same type of committee that we have here, perhaps going through each staff recommendation might be easier on staff as we work through this.
Okay. All right, I'll entertain a motion on the first.
Motion to accept update on farm worker advisory.
Second.
I have a first and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Unanimous. Okay, number 2, identify and appoint one representative to the agricultural industry representative seat on the Farm Worker Advisory Committee.
I would make a motion to nominate Anthony Ratto of Ratto Brothers.
Second.
I have a first and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, number 3, identify and appoint one representative to the community-based organization seat on the Farm Worker Advisory Committee.
And then on this one, again, just wanting to know if that's going to, right, if they both can work together for the same goal and I don't want to, give it, kind of dilute having just one CBO and then sharing or redundancy of responsibilities if there's two. The mere fact that I brought this up is because I just feel that it has been difficult. I know one name was mentioned, CLRA. I also, and nothing against CLRA, if that's the one that board wants to go with, I'd be supportive of that. But El Concilio is one that's stood out to me for many, many years from the time I was on city council. They just do good advocacy work. Not that all these ones aren't credible organizations, but I feel El Concilio really has the infrastructure. They have brick and mortar offices and just the outreach. So that's one that I would like to nominate as the CBO. But again, if there's an opportunity, possibility, and an appetite from the board to have two community-based organizations, I just think the more the better here, because I think that's going to allow for more trusting relationships to be brought to eventually fulfill the goal of staff recommendation number 5 of getting, well, not recommendation number 5 because that's to bring it down to 1, but if we went with what Supervisor Condit is saying about keeping it at 2, then I think more CBO representation would be helpful. But I'm open to opinions and the rationale if we don't go that route.
Can I ask a clarifying question, or are you suggesting that we increase the number of the members to 15? 15? To add one more?
No, I was on item number 3, instead of having one community-based organization representative, adding a second.
I think that would take it to 15. I think you're correct. The total number. So I just want to have a discussion because I would like, when we had this original discussion, I want 10 farm workers. That's who I want to hear from. And so diluting the CBO down is okay if we have 10 of them. If we have 5 of them, I can't support that. And the reason being, again, my thinking is that I want to make sure we hear from farm workers and that they set the path for this committee. Mm-hmm. Not because the CBOs are a lot smarter and they will tend to, just like we would tend to dictate, hey, you should think about this, you should think about that. I want them to tell us what their shortcoming is. If it's, again, childcare as an example, we've been through this, but what is it that they need to see upscaling? I want to hear from them what the lack of opportunities are or what their needs and necessities are. I want them to think about it. And so I think if we get to 10, I bring this back. If we end up with 5, because I'm not sure where we're going to end up on that number yet, then I would be okay. If we have 5, I only want 1. If we have 10, then I'm okay with 2. So.
And I think to Supervisor Graywall's point and to your point, I think that this gives us the best opportunity to get to 10. I think 10 is the goal. And just to echo the comments of yours and Dr. Andrade's, is we want to hear their personal life experiences, how best ways we could go about improving that. So just to piggyback off of, I guess, Supervisor Graywall's recommendation, I would also be in support of CRLA, the California Rural Assistance Foundation, as well as El Concilio as the 2 possible CBOs. And I think that they will provide great success in hopefully getting to that 10 number.
Am I taking that to be a second to Supervisor Graywall's?
That is
motion?
correct,
Okay.
yes.
So second. So the motion that's on the floor right now is that we're going to increase the community-based organizations to 2, and retain the original 10 as far as the farm workers. Is that correct?
That is my understanding, and I'm optimistic that if we get these CBOs involved, that we can hit that 10 number. And if they come back, if the CBOs and the folks that we are appointed today come back and say, no, it's just unrealistic, then I guess we can further consider dropping it to 5. But I'm an optimist that if we get these organizations involved, that we might hit that 10 number.
Okay, and then also on that motion, it sounds like we're actually picking the community-based organization members. I mean, I support NOE with CRLA also. Just a big fan of NOE's, but so I don't know if we're doing that as part of the same.
Yeah, the item is to identify and appoint.
Okay.
So I thought it was.
Are we working on the CBOs or the farm labor contractors?
The CBOs.
CBOs. Number 3.
Yeah.
I think it might be helpful if we take number 5 out of order, and then we'll come back to your motion that has a first and a second. Should we do number 5 then?
Yeah.
Yeah, since the premise seems like from at least 2 of my colleagues that to have 2 representations from CBOs, they'd like to see the number at 10. So I would agree that we probably want to take that.
So we're going to put
the number to 10.
We're going to put the first and second on hold on number 3, and we're going to move to number 5.
So I'm going to reiterate what I said, just so I'm clear. If we don't have 10 seated people, I can't support having 2 of them. So now it seems like we're putting the cart before the horse. We're going to put 2 people in. If we only end up with 5 and our goal is 10, we show up at our first meeting, there's a disproportionate share of CBOs. From my perspective, again, I think that having them there will help. I don't want the CBOs recruiting. This has to be more of a natural process, and I'll apologize when we get to I guess this is as good a time as any. It's very easy for me to find people to put their application in. I have purposefully tried, being a farmer, not to do anything that would be perceived as me trying to, have my own folks or my neighbors or whatever, and it didn't work without me getting involved. And so now if I call people, if I call neighbors, I don't tell them who to put on there, but I just tell them, could you encourage someone to put their application in? There won't be any issue, and so I feel confident I can get 2 people to represent District 2. I hope everyone else feels the same right now, because again, if we're going to go forward, I'm going to have to bring this back to revisit it if we don't end up with 10 people sitting on there, and just so I'm clear.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the same thing. I haven't really pursued this, but I've started to have the conversation, seeing that we were having so much trouble. And I think if we go out there and recruit, we can make it happen.
Okay.
So do you want to change the wording of number 5?
No, I'm telling you, I'm going to ask it to be revisited, whether the board wants to or not, that's another point. But I want just to be clear on what my thinking is on this. So I'm okay, again, the motion, I'll go ahead and make a motion that we leave the number at 10 on item number 5.
Second.
All right. And that was the first, Vita?
Yeah.
Okay. First, I have a first and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Unanimous. All right, back to number 3. And I have a first and a second. Do you want to reread the?
So I think the motion is to increase the number of members to 15, and in doing that, we would increase the number of community-based organizations to 2, and the motion would be to approve both Benjamin Lopez and Sergio Tanako. Do I have that right?
No, we're on.
It would be
labor contractors.
Yeah.
Oh.
Community-based organizations.
Noe Paramo and Jose Moreno.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's good. So that would be, the motion is to increase it to 2 and to make it.
It would be CRLA and El Concilio, California.
It wasn't working.
Sorry, we were jumping around a little there. Yeah. Okay, so does that make sense?
I think Kelly, do you have that? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So now we just need a motion.
I have a.
We have a first and a second.
We have a first and a second. Do you want to reread the motion?
Kelly, you read it? Do you have it?
I'll read it for you. It's picking the community-based organization, moving it from 1 to 2, selecting California Rural Legal Assistance Foundation, Noe Parero? I always say, I don't say that.
Let's go with
I'm
Noe.
sorry.
Go with
And
Noe.
Jose Moreno from El Concilio.
Yeah, I'll be voting no just because my picks are different than what was presented. Just a change. That's okay.
So am I, but-
All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Me, none, or one, excuse me. Never done that before.
No.
All right, so 4-1. Okay, number 4, identify and appoint one representative to the Farm Labor Contractor seat on the Farm Worker Advisory Committee.
I make a motion to recommend Benjamin Lopez as the farm labor contractor.
I have a first.
Second.
I have a first and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous.
Thank you, Board Chairman.
Thank you.
Thanks for the presentation.
Okay, so we got to get to work.
Who seconded?
Repeat the motion.
I second it. The motion was made by Supervisor Chance.
Second by Vito.
Are you good?
We're good. Sorry. Moved quickly on that one. We're all good?
So then our homework is to go out and find each of them to make sure we find and really pursue that.
If you need help in your district.
Okay.
let me know, especially for-
Moving on to correspondence, we're going to acknowledge the receipt of correspondence and refer as recommended on the agenda. Board of Supervisor reports. Any reports?
Are you going to bring that?
Huh? Go ahead.
Yeah, so Chairman Buck Condit, myself, and CEO Hayes had the opportunity to attend National Association of County Offices, NACO. And it was really an educational experience for us. I sit on a committee for International Economic Development Task Force. CEO Hayes sat in with me, and it was a really good meeting. There was a lot of things that were talked about that are very relative to everything that we're doing as far as SURF funding and regional allocations of funding statewide, and one of the speakers touched on that, and later CEO Hayes made the point of meeting up with them afterwards, kind of getting information from him of what he thought we were doing right, and we asked him a couple questions, so that was very engaging. And there was also a representative from Coca-Cola. He was a great speaker, gave a lot about what Coca-Cola is doing throughout the nation and how that affects different regions, bottling plants, delivery, logistics, and how they touch, many parts of the nation, and how they're trying to keep up with manufacturing jobs. That was one of the main emphasis. They were talking about, all the panelists, about having good manufacturing jobs here in the United States. So it was very engaging and informative, and I appreciated being there for 2 of the 3 days of the conference.
I just have a quick report. We had our 25th District 5 community cleanup that was held in Crow's Landing. Together, we filled a total of 7 bins that were hauled off to the dump. And I just want to thank the West Stanislaus County Fire Protection District, Newman Fire Department, Fire Chief Keith Bowen, and his fire explorers, as well as my field representatives, Noelia Lopez and Jabji Upal, for all of their assistance in making that event a success. So looking forward to the next one.
And I really didn't have anything to report other than it gave me an idea today when I heard the kids from Grayson out there. I remember when Laird Park had some issues years ago. I know that Jim DeMartini, Supervisor DeMartini, but it was your brother-in-law also. They were able to help out with some heavy equipment, and I'm thinking, I've got all these thoughts in my mind. I know that
That's perfect. That's exactly what I was thinking too. But we'll reach out to them and see if they can get involved. I'm sure they'll want to. Yeah.
It'd be great.
Any others? All right. So last week I was able to represent the board at the mental health court held here in Chambers, or not the mental health court, but it was a graduation from mental health court. So I got to represent the board there, present some certificates, and really celebrate with Ezekiel and Anna, who is graduating from the program after completing their extensive classes that they have to go through. So that was a good moment to see and talk with them and take a few pictures. Also, Saturday, got to represent the board and celebrate the new 76 child care businesses through Nurture, and got to celebrate with all of the people, the ladies there that are starting their new businesses, creating, I think, Erica, was it over 800 child care slots? 600 child care slots here in Stanislaus County. So it was a big celebration and just a good time. So that's about all I got. All right. Moving on. Legislative Fiscal Management Report.
And I'm going to merge right into what you were just speaking about. Thank you so much for mentioning that. So on Saturday, and I want to recognize the Modesto Chamber of Commerce and the Stanislaus Latino Chamber of Commerce also, who helped coordinate that event. It was essentially a ribbon cutting for all of the new childcare businesses that have been started through the Nurture Partnership. And because they work Monday through Friday, you can't go to all these businesses and do a ribbon cutting, so they brought them all in, hosted here at the Gallo Center. And we actually had over 40 local businesses come in all at once, come on stage and cut a ribbon together collectively. The other thing that was really interesting is that they actually invited some of the businesses that have been started from even outside of Stanislaus, and some of those entrepreneurs came in to our community to celebrate collectively with the group. So it was just it was a wonderful day. I also want to recognize and thank you for mentioning the very informative sessions from this past week's NACO conference. A couple of other items that we were able to do was spend a lot of time in technology conference sessions, learning about the potential improvements that AI might be able to bring to local government operations in terms of efficiencies, as well as connecting information with the local public, while also being mindful of the safeguards that are necessary when you're dealing with technology and confidential information. So those were some very informative sessions. But I think one of my favorites was Chair Condit and I were able to go on a field trip into the city of Philadelphia, and we were able to see their recycled reforestation projects that they have, very similar to our circular economy conversations that we're having here. So we went out and we saw how they actually take all of their waste from the forest stream that they work in the city forestry and repurpose it, as well as blend it in with workforce development programs, giving jobs and upskilling some of the underprivileged neighborhoods and youth in the community. So that was very interesting, and I appreciate the opportunity to go and learn that information, bring it back for some of the work that we're doing here in Stanislaus County. And then I'm going to run through this real quick. I think everyone's aware that what is the federal budget reconciliation package, which is formally entitled the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, was signed into law on July 4th. So we're now in implementation phase and closely monitoring our federal regulatory rollout, as well as the state's response in the coming months. The state's response is very important here. The Department of Finance at the state has cautioned that it's going to take some time for state departments to fully assess these impacts on Californians, as well as the state budget. That process depends heavily on some of the upcoming federal guidance that may come out from federal agencies as well. So we're kind of in a holding pattern to see how some of these changes are implemented, but there definitely are some more immediate impacts with clarity around who can receive what services, but almost immediately some of this is going into litigation as well. So I just want to recognize and appreciate that our county departments are trying to do the best we can with the information that we have, but it can be confusing, and it's going to take some time to sort out when we receive those questions about impacts locally. Also want to plug, we have a public meeting on truck parking in ag zones. Our Planning and Community Development Department is hosting an informational presentation and a Q&A on truck parking in general agricultural zones. That event will take place tomorrow, Wednesday, July 23rd, from 5:30 to 7 at Harvest Hall, which is located at 3800 Cornucopia Way in Modesto. And for more information, residents can call 209-525-6330. You can also email planning@stancounty.com. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Jody. All right, we're going to be going into a closed session, so we're going to adjourn, and we do have closed session to report.
Yes, we have a rather large closed session agenda today. First item is conference with legal counsel, existing litigation pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9 Subdivision D1. We have 4 cases to consider. Heather Goodwin versus Stanislaus County et al. That's in the, let me see. And then Polasinski versus Stanislaus County, County of Stanislaus versus Wolfgang Bach, and Lopez et al. Versus County of Stanislaus et al. And the second item is conference with labor negotiators pursuant to Government Code Section 54957.6. The agency negotiators are Jody Hayes, Ryan Loop, and Joanna Navarro. The labor organizations is the Stanislaus County Employees Association, American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, Local 10, Service Employees International Union, Local 521, County Attorneys Association, Deputy Sheriff's Association, Stanislaus County Sheriff's Management Association. Third item is public employee appointment pursuant to Government Code Section 54957B1 and Family Code Section 17304F. The board will consider appointment of the Director of Child Support Services. With that, appropriate for public comment.
Any public comment on closed session? Seeing none, we're going to go into closed session. And Deputy Zulkowski, thank you for your overwatch. See you back there.